Hi, good evening. I'm wondering, is there anyone there? Oh, hi, I see Angie has joined us. That's great. So we're going to have another Instagram Live this evening. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Louisa Cooling and I am a nutrition and lifestyle coach at Enriched. And I work with busy people to help them improve their overall health and wellness by making small changes to diet and lifestyle. And I also do that by looking across the 4 pillars of health, which are a very important part of my business. And those 4 pillars are nutrition, movement, sleep, and self-care. Now, over the last couple of Wednesdays, I have been speaking with gurus in their own area of wellness. All under the umbrella of self-care, and it covers many different things from looking after our mind and our body. And a very important part of self-care is our appearance and how we look. And again, our hair, our crown and glory is so very important in that. And that's why this evening I am absolutely delighted that Angie Drumgoole has agreed to join me in this discussion. And Angie is Educational Director of Viva Hairdressing. And Viva is a very successful family-run business. And Angie founded it with her husband Paul and brother-in-law Richard. And they have grown this business and currently have 4 fabulous salons located throughout Dublin. One in Sandymount, South William Street, which is the flagship, Arnott's, and also Maynooth in County Kildare. So I'm going to get Angie on here, and I will introduce Angie. Angie herself is a busy mum of 4 working full-time, which is no mean feat. And Angie herself has won many awards, including Image Businesswoman of the Year under the creative category in 2014. So that's no mean achievement. And I can see that it's just connecting. So hopefully Angie will be able to join us in a moment. We're going to be covering lots of things this evening. Obviously, nutrition and
Hi,
lifestyle.
Louisa. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I can't hear any sound.
On our hair and our hair health and
the joys
our hair
of being live, huh?
and scalp. But also there are things that we can do in terms of products and home care. Home care is very important, obviously, at the moment because of lockdown. And we're not able to get to the hairdressers. So again, we'll be getting lots of tips from Angie as to what we can do, you know, to maybe rest our hair and nourish it at the moment. So I am wondering why we seem to have some bit of a difficulty in joining. I'm getting this comment that that Viva can't join. I don't quite know why. Wait till I see. Can I bring her in at this end? Okay. So I've sent a request. Hopefully Angie, I know Angie's watching, so she may be able to join this way.
Oh, hi, Louisa.
Hi, Angie.
Hi, can you hear me now? I couldn't hear anything. I can hear you now.
That.
How are you?
I'm good. I thought I was going to have to fly solo there for a while. The old internet connection was letting us down. So anyway, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, very good.
Good. And could you see any of that? I gave an introduction.
No, I missed that, but it's okay.
Is that okay? Well, I was just saying, giving a little bit of background about why we were going to be chatting about hair this evening. Yes. And I also gave a little bit of a background on Viva and the success of the family-grown business, and that you have 4 shops located around Dublin. And I had just said about you in terms of being a busy mum of 4, working full-time, and obviously nutrition and lifestyle and well-being is very obviously part of your day-to-day routine as well. And maybe we can talk a little bit about that. I mean, I know you personally, but I know as well, based on your social media posts, that you're very into your fitness and in terms of attending the gym when it's open, but big into yoga as well, and also sea swimming, which I am in awe of.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, you know, in recent years, we've all become much more aware of the benefits of keeping fit and healthy and, you know, bringing that into our lives, and the benefits that we gain from that, you know. And I suppose I've always enjoyed particularly the outdoors walk and the lovely area that we live in as well, walking and swimming and all that. Although sea swimming has become a new thing this year. I guess with a lot of us, we haven't been able to get on holidays this year. So we've embraced our own Irish coastline and sea, whereas before we might have thought, oh, it's too cold, I'm not doing that. Through this year, we've kind of realized, well, actually, no, it's not that cold. And the benefits, sometimes the thoughts of getting in, we don't realize how great we feel when we get out, you know, so the getting in. But I think once you've got in a few times and you realize the benefits of it, it's been like very enjoyable and beneficial as well, you know. And also it's a great way to, you know, hang out with your friends and have some fun. And, you know, rather than sort of going out these days for dinner, we might meet for a little swim or a little walk, socially distanced as it is. But, you know, it's been great, really good.
Yeah, no, it is great. And when you and I were speaking earlier, I mean, obviously sea swimming is so good. It's cold water therapy, and it in itself is fantastic then for supporting healthy hair, because healthy hair, I suppose, depends on, we can, you know, take supplements, we can eat all the right types of foods, but getting those vitamins and nutrients to the hair follicle depends on good circulation. And so, I mean, you know, cold water therapy, whether it's cold shower or sea swimming, is going to increase that circulation. So that's fantastic. There's lots of benefits.
And I didn't really think of it in that sense until you'd said it to me earlier. You know, I kind of was aware of like cold showers and rinsing our hair with cold water, but I kind of forgot about that when I'm in the sea, that it does actually increase the blood flow to the scalp as well. You're kind of thinking of your heart and your circulation, but to have that come into the hair as well is great, you know, increasing the blood flow, because that's all a big thing. With a lot of hair products as well, the likes of Nioxin and some of these products, it's all about stimulating the blood to come to the hair follicle and help, you know, get the nutritions into that, so that all makes sense, you know.
Yeah, no, it's great. We'll cover it all this evening. There's so much to cover. I'm really excited.
I know.
But maybe will we just start, Angie, with the whole thing of, at the moment, obviously during we're all having to do our own brewing, and it presents its own challenges.
Our internet is playing up in us there, Louisa.
It actually gives, it's a great opportunity for us to give our hair a rest. Yeah. I think I've lost the connection, have I? Don't know if that's you or me.
You've frozen on me.
I'll give Angie a minute to see.
I'm not sure.
Back. But it
somebody maybe send in a little message and let me know if
that actually not going to the hair salon and maybe not washing our hair every day, it is a great opportunity to give the hair a break, which is really, really positive. Now, I don't know whether that's me or Angie. I wonder, will I? Sorry, folks. I'm just going to maybe disconnect and try to connect again. I'll try that. Okay. Any of you who just joined me, I've lost the connection. I'm going to go and try it again here. Lisa, I can hear you, Angie. Both.
Oh, we're back again, Louisa. We obviously have a weak connection tonight. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
You were just asking me a question there about...
Yeah. So I was just saying how earlier when we were chatting, you'd actually even pointed out to me, and I hadn't thought about it, that lockdown and being at home is giving us a great chance to give our hair a break, which is a lovely way to look at it.
Yeah. You know, it is a great chance to kind of, you know, put treatments in your hair, put masks in your hair, and kind of learn how to style it more yourself, you know, play around with it a little bit, you know, with accessories, you know, maybe scarves, different types of ponytails. And, you know, there's some great tutorials online as well to show us how to do quick, easy tips on looking after our own hair. And in the lockdown, when we were closed for so long, the first time I did a couple of tutorials just on like simple sort of easy buns, nice ponytails, how to wear a scarf best in your hair and that type of thing. So things like that are really good, that we don't have to be constantly shampooing and styling our hair, that we can, you know, wear it softer sometimes as well, you know.
Yeah, no, that's great. And that would be, Angie, that's on your own, Angie at Angie Drumgoole Instagram account.
Yes, so on my Instagram account in sort of April, May, when we were closed before, I did do a few easy tutorials on quick ways how to mind your hair. But what you were saying there as well about giving the hair some rest, you know, And shampooing the hair constantly in a lot of heat can be stressful on the hair, you know. And you know, the more we shampoo our hair, the more flyaway it gets, and sometimes the more often we feel we have to shampoo it then. So actually, sometimes the less you shampoo it, the hair will get used to it, and it won't get as oily and as flat, you know. And dry shampoos are great. You know, if there's people out there that haven't used the dry shampoos, if you do have oil, but you know, your hair is a little bit oily, the dry shampoos are brilliant. And there's so many different brands that do them. I've one here now. It's by Techniart. I'll just show you that little one there. And that's one of my favorite dry shampoos.
Okay.
You know, so that's a lovely little dry shampoo. So if you find that, you know, or you think, oh, my hair is oily, I have to wash it every day, the dry shampoos can be great for that. And then on the other hand as well, people with thicker hair, you know, sometimes their hair can be better the second day and the third day, you know, especially with dry hair, as their own oils come through it a little bit, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
And I feel with our lifestyles now as well, Louise, that our lifestyles have changed, that we are, whether we're cycling, walking, running, swimming, you know, you don't want to have to be styling your hair every day, and you don't actually have the time to style your hair every day, you know. So having sort of quick tips and easy ways on how to make it look well, even if it's not styled or, you know, curled, tongued, blow dried, is a good thing, you know.
So we can look at some of your tutorials on that.
Yes, we can get a few little tips on that.
Yeah, that would be great. Actually, I do remember you did some great videos last lockdown, so they were brilliant. But in terms of the swimming and the seawater, does that impact on the hair?
You know, it's good to rinse the seawater out of your hair because there is salt on it, so the grain and the salt could slightly damage the hair. So it is good to wash that out. What I would say is to make sure that you know, if you've been swimming quite a lot in the sea, there's a great product called Shampoo 3, which removes the chlorine out of the hair. So I just brought that along. I just thought I'd bring some of my hero products along tonight and just show them. So this is called, it's a Paul Mitchell product, and it removes seawater, chlorine, or even minerals that would, you know, we get in our water. It can help remove that as well, which is really good.
Yeah, so
but the seawater in itself, as you say, it's beneficial, that the cold water and the salt, like even people with psoriasis or any sort of skin condition like that, the seawater is really good for it, you know.
Of course, yeah. That's really good. And actually what I was just going to say was, any products that you list out, your go-to products that you feel are beneficial and that we speak about, I'll get a list of those from you and I will post them tomorrow with the video. Well, the video will go up tonight, but I'll post all of those with links or wherever, and I'm sure the people that are watching will love those, because it is great to get those tips.
Great.
Yeah. And Angie, the other thing that's at home, which I struggle with now at the moment, is regrowth, grey hair. So any tips on how to manage that without...
We all struggle with that. Yeah, I suppose we all struggle with that, you know, when, you know, some people can go grey in their 20s and some people don't go grey until their 60s, you know. But anybody that has that grey hair, your hair grows on average ½ an inch a month. So after 4 weeks, you know, you're going to have that regrowth showing through. And obviously, the darker we are, the harder, you know, the more it's going to show up, you know, from the white hair to the darker hair. But the spray-in ones are great. Like the Wow is a really good sort of paint-on one. Or then we've got L'Oreal Root Spray, which is a great one. And again, there's a tutorial on that on my website to show you how to put it on and what to do.
Yeah. No, that's great. And that would be one that I would use, that spray-in one as well.
Yeah, a lot of, and actually even Super Value does a really good one. It's a L'Oreal Root Spray as well. And it's equally as good, you know, so it's a very good one too. And they come in all colors, everything from blonde right to black, you know. The only tip I would say is, if you are using them, maybe put on a pair of gloves, because they can come off on your fingers a little bit. And also, if you're going to bed that night, just brush your hair a little bit, or just be careful on the pillows, because they can come off slightly on the pillows. Have you ever noticed that?
Me? I just generally put it here, so I probably
I know. Keep it to there. I would say that as well. Yeah, keep it to where it's visual, you know. Yeah, so I say the root sprays are great, and we're not closed for that long this time. So for people, you know, they don't need to worry this time about sort of putting in home colors or anything like that. I would say, you know, ideally we prefer obviously to come into the salon and get it done, and I think it's a lot, you know, you like that sort of to come in and be pampered and get your hair done as well, you know.
Of course, and I know it's difficult for you guys been closed, but I know I've seen you have all the Christmas decorations up and you're ready to open your doors and welcome back all your clients on 1st of December.
We can't wait.
The salons look fantastic. Yeah,
we've been working hard to get them prepared now for when we open back up again.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sure you'll be looking after all of your clients as best you can. It's going to be flat out for you guys in December.
It will be, yeah, it certainly will. We've got the majority of them, you know, we've been booking them in over the last couple of weeks, so we've got nearly everybody booked in now. But there's still some appointments left, so don't worry, guys. We'll get you in if you need to if you still haven't made your appointment yet. But it's set, we have, for our clients, they can email us on cbahotline@gmail.com if anybody still has to make appointments, so. Great.
Yeah, that all sounds great. So Angie, in terms of products that are good for nourishing our hair and how we can protect our hair and nourish it, maybe if you talk a little bit about the products that people can buy over the counter, and then I might be able to talk about, you know, the foods that we can include in our day-to-day that can actually help support, you know, healthy hair and regrowth.
So to support healthy hair, it's very much like anything. They say we are what we eat. So obviously, you know, you can give the input and the best sort of foods for healthy hair, but it definitely is what we put into our bodies, what we see, and hair is equally the same, you know. Now, there is extra you know, if certain times in our lives, maybe sort of post-pregnancy or menopause or stress or many different things. There can be times in our life where our hair can fall out. It can be weak and just not at its optimum level. And there are some really good vitamins on the market. There's 2 particular ones that I've used and tried and I've recommended to a lot of clients, and they really do work. So the first one is Viva Scalp. So it's a really good hair vitamin that you take every day, and with any vitamins it does take about 30 days to get them into the system. So it's really not until after about 2 months that you're going to some of the ingredients in the Viva Scalp you looked at some of the ingredients in the Viva Scalp and you pointed out particular vitamins that were in it.
I lost you there. I lost in the middle of it, so I wasn't quite sure. You said you have to take it for a couple of months, is it?
So I've taken Viva Scalp for a couple of months, you know, when my hair was weak post-pregnancy in different times, and it works really well. And I've also taken Nourishing, and it's equally as good, and I've recommended them to my clients as well. And I've seen the benefits of the hair improving with them, you know. And there's also, there's a very good, I'll let you talk about maybe the hair vitamins first, and then I can show you shampoo that Kerastase have launched this year. It's an anti-fallout hair shampoo, which is amazing, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. But maybe you might like to talk about the ingredients in the Viva Scalp and the Nourishing and the benefits to the hair.
Yeah, so I did look up, obviously as a nutrition and lifestyle coach, I won't ever recommend particular supplements, you know, out to people in case there's any contraindications with medications that they may be on. But I did have a look at those 2 products. I was just interested to see. And the Viva Scalp, so the main ingredients in it were zinc, biotin, iron, and a particular type of protein. Now they would be all the things and a few more that are recommended for healthy hair. So for example, biotin is very important in the production of keratin, and hair is probably 85% made up of keratin. Pardon?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So so biotin would be included in foods like eggs, which are obviously very high in protein. Also iron then is included in that supplement as well. And iron, actually a deficiency in iron, which we know might lead to anemia. Anemia has been associated with hair loss. So again, making sure that we include foods that would be high in iron would be important. So again, our red meats, but we can also get them from dark green leafy vegetables and so on. And then zinc would be important as well, and we'll get that from shellfish. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, protein. Well, protein is obviously very important. I mean, protein is broken down into amino acids, and amino acids are the building blocks for our body, for everything from muscle to bone to skin to hair. So that's very important. And then the other one that you mentioned, which was the Nourishing.
The Nourishing.
I basically, I looked at those ingredients again. So they would have what's called Acylera cherry extract. It's a type of a fruit, but it's very high in vitamin C and antioxidants. Now, both vitamin C and antioxidants are very important for healthy hair. So antioxidants are those foods which help reduce the damage of oxidative stress to the hair strand. So as we know, oxidative stress, free radicals, they are all generated by life in general. By, you know, if we eat too much of the wrong type of food, we will have a lot of free radicals going around our body. If we are exposed to too many pollutants and things in the environment, we will increase the level of free radicals in our body. So we introduce a lot of antioxidant foods. They can go around and mop up the free radicals in our body. That's how I like to look at it. So any foods high in antioxidants, particularly things like berries, are very high in both antioxidants and vitamin C. And vitamin C then, of course, is very good for helping us absorb iron as well. So and very important in the production of collagen. Now that brings me on to, again, collagen is something. Yeah, pardon me.
We could all do with more of that.
Oh, we could, and that's the thing. Collagen is about a third of the protein in our body, but unfortunately, as we age, our production of it reduces, and that leads to that loss of elasticity. Particularly, we'd notice it in our skin. But it's very important for the hair as well. Now, again, I suppose eating a wide variety of foods is very important. Collagen would be in things like bone broth. So if you boil down the bones of beef or chicken, it releases this gelatin substance, which is very high in collagen. So drinking a cup of bone broth is very good for us. But you can also actually get collagen in a powdered form, in a powder form, so collagen peptides. Now I would actually take a spoon or two of collagen peptides every day. I make kind of anyone who follows me, I go on about these fat chocolate turmeric lattes. And so they're a mix of, again, turmeric and ginger, which are anti-inflammatory, which reduce the effects of oxidative stress as well in our bodies. But I also include collagen in that, and it's a nice way to get good ingredients, anti-inflammatories and collagen into the diet as well. So what else?
I'll have to write down a few of those tips, Louisa.
You have to what?
I'll have to note a few of those tips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's lots of things. But also, actually, that Nourishing also includes biotin, and we've mentioned that has been really good for supporting the production of keratin. And also, it includes a thing called silica, which is a trace mineral. Again, that's essential for the production of collagen. So those two supplements, and I guess any supplement that's out there, will include a mix of these. So, you know, vitamin C and vitamin E are very good as well. So vitamin E is really good, we probably know, for our skin as well. And it is found in avocados. And so anything, when you think then, any kind of a food that has a high element of healthy fat. So again, omega-3s are very important for cell health and for hair health as well. So eating your oily fish is really good as well. So oily fish, I use this acronym SMASH. So S for sardines, M for mackerel, A for anchovies, S for sardines, and H for herring. So that is the oily fish. If you can try and include them in your diet 2 or 3 times a week, that's fantastic. But I would probably say that most people don't get enough omega-3. And so that would be one supplement that I probably would suggest that people take, a good omega-3 supplement.
Great.
Um,
And
and
actually, the health shop does one called Silica as well for your hair, which would be a slightly
okay,
cheaper version, because they are, the Nourishing and the Viva are in around about 70, between 60 and 70 euros for a 28-day supply. And I know the Silica one in the health shop would be just a little bit more reasonable, and it's quite a good one as well, because I have used that also. But I might just show you the shampoo now, the Genesis shampoo from L'Oreal. So L'Oreal have just launched this year. It's called Genesis, and it's an anti-fallout shampoo. So they have a whole range. They have a shampoo, a conditioner, a treatment, and then they also have a scalp oil that you put in at nighttime into your scalp to help promote healthy scalp as well, because to have healthy hair, you must also have healthy scalp. You know, so it's a particular one for nighttime to put into your scalp that really helps. And I know it's not the most important thing, but it does smell so good. It smells really, really good. And it's just been launched this year. So it's worth kind of, if anybody wants to look it up, it's worth going online, and it'll give you the whole philosophy behind it and everything like that. And they launched it probably with us maybe about 6 months ago. So looking at our clients returning back, you can really see the benefit of the hair, not just grown from the regrowth, but they also, with the oil that we use at night, and they have a spray, you can see the hair getting healthy mid-lengths and ends as well. So it's not just working with the hair growing out, it's working with the hair as a whole. So it is particularly good out of all the ones I've used. And then there's also Nioxin, which is a very good one.
Just when you mentioned that whole thing about the scalp,
yes,
that obviously is so important. But again, just I thought of it. Sebum is produced by the glands in and around the scalp, which promotes, I suppose, healthy scalp and keeps the oils going. And that's found a lot in or vitamin A, including vitamin A. So things like sweet potato and kale, that's really good for that. So again, it's just bringing it back to obviously all of these extra things that we can buy, whether it's a supplement or oils, are all very good, and we take them from time to time as well. But there's a lot that we can do by just introducing whole foods, or incorporating as many and a wide variety of things, but definitely the vitamin C, the vitamin E for the antioxidants, and the vitamin A as well is really, really good, and the iron. Sorry, so you're going to go on. I guess that brings us back to maybe
not shampooing your hair every day, because the sebum has a chance to sort of come in through the hair. And another thing I did mean to mention was that, our hair is at its weakest when it's wet. So if you ever notice when you comb your hair when it's wet, the elasticity stretches, it can snap easier. So I'd say, when we are brushing your hair when we're wet, I'll talk a little bit about it later, but having something like a nice soft paddle brush, so we don't stress the hair out too much, not just using a comb, using something that's quite soft on the hair. So just while we were covering that. But yeah, so that's the Genesis. And then also Nioxin have a very good anti-hair fallout one that they've just launched a few new ones this year as well. Nioxin's been on the market for quite a long time. So a lot of clients would be used to using that, so it's another one to look at as well, for men and ladies, not just for ladies, so, and there's different number in it, whether you've got fine hair dramatically falling out, or whether you've got thicker hair with a light fallout, there's a shampoo to suit all hair types. So they would be probably my two top shampoo ranges for anti-fallout and encouraged growth.
Yeah. And obviously then with fallout, that can happen at different times of our lives.
Usually it'll find it's usually stressful times or hormonal changes. That's the main times that it'll happen, But as I say, there's plenty between the vitamins on the market and the hair ranges on the market, be it Genesis and the Kerastase or the Nioxin. There would be my two top ranges for that.
Yeah. And obviously just been aware of the fact that stress does have an impact on hair, and that, in terms of an overall healthy lifestyle, that, anything we can do on a day-to-day basis to reduce stress.
That's right.
Is going to benefit us. And I suppose there are certain stressful events that, maybe 4 out of every 10 women, I think, after they give birth may notice their hair thinning in particular areas here. for a period of time, because it is, I suppose, a stress on the body.
Yeah,
even though it's a
particularly
natural.
around kind of where your hairline area is, where the hair
Yeah.
is weaker, that you notice it, you know, that's
Yeah.
right. But also when we're pregnant, our hair doesn't fall out at all, because there's such an increase in, as we've talked about before, blood flow to the scalp and to the follicle, and the hair gets thicker and healthier. And then it does change a little bit after that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah, no.
suppose it might be important to talk to about you know, all the other advice that we can give, be it talk about clients' lifestyles and face shapes and all that as well.
That would be
you
lovely.
know, which you
Yeah.
could, yeah. So I suppose talking about Viva as a brand, and when a client comes into us, you know, what to expect when they come in, and what we would look at for a client would be, you know, particularly a new client, it's important. The consultation is so important, because you want to get a feel for their personality and their lifestyle, and then you can also look at the sort of their face shape and recommend a cut and a color to suit them, to be bespoke to them, you know. And I think that's very important, because people will say, you know, I think the most important thing that I would say for hair is that healthy, beautiful hair. So it's how can we get, you know, really nice, healthy, shiny, glossy hair with a haircut that will suit our lifestyle, and that we can maintain ourselves, or that the client can maintain herself at home, you know. So I would say, you know, obviously that comes down to the density of hair they have, the face shape, or the lifestyle that they have. You take all of that into consideration, you know. So
so and the burning question, should our hair get shorter as we age? Or is that
no,
just
not necessarily. I wouldn't say that at all. I would say, as long as your hair is healthy and in good condition, why would you cut it? Like sometimes clients would say to me, oh, well, maybe I'll go for a change. And that's good if you really want to change, but not just because you think as I get older, I should have shorter hair. You know, I mean, I think you can wear your hair, certainly, you know, anything sort of that's not below shoulder will still work really well, no matter what age we are, you know. So so I wouldn't say that at all. As long as it's healthy and shiny in good condition, you know, we can still wear our hair relatively long. You know.
And fringes, yes or no?
So fringes, fringes are a big thing. You know, fringes can really change our face shape and everything like that, you know. So when you're thinking of a fringe, I would say, you know, if you've got a high recession line, you know, when we say, or a high hairline, we could say, which I do, I've got quite a high hairline that comes around like that. So I like to kind of wear my fringe covering that, but I still leave it open in the front, because I like to kind of make my face look longer. So that's where we come into face shapes. So fringe will have a big say in how our face shape looks, you know. So I would say somebody with a small face and a small forehead, I probably wouldn't go for a fringe in them, because you're just sort of making it even smaller. So therefore I would say, you know, probably you're better to kind of wear like something in a bob style or that, you know. But there's so many variations in that. Or somebody who, so say we're talking about like a nice box fringe, like a strong fringe like that. If somebody's got quite a long, you know, if their face is a little slim and maybe a little bit on the long side, a fringe can look really well on them, and maybe a shorter bob line, you know. So
it's all
so fringes is very much, I think, down to face shape, and you know, really looking at the client's face shape. And also if you've got very curly hair, if you've got a strong cow's lick, then maybe a fringe isn't going to work either. And there's so many different types of fringes, from a side fringe to a box fringe to, you know, a really sort of long fringe. There's so many different variations. So this is where you would go to your stylist and, you know, have a consultation, and they will take you through the do's and the don'ts. And obviously wearing glasses as well. You know, if you wear glasses, you want to have the fringe maybe short enough that it's not going to interfere with the glasses, or long enough that it's not going to interfere either, you know. So there's a lot of elements that will come into play in that.
A lot to take in there.
There is, yes.
There is so much. It's all down to the person. And then in terms of color, does that change? I mean, our skin tone changes as we age. And so are we matching our hair color then to our skin, or again?
Yeah, you would. Like I would find sometimes like clients that would have had really dark hair, maybe dark brown, black hair when they were younger, they, you know, their gray does tend to, when they do go gray, they can be quite a white silvery gray. And you know, as you get older, that can be hard to maintain. So you've got like a dark colored hair, and then you've got this really white root. So in that case, I would say sometimes it's nice to even let the gray hair grow out. A lot of people with that very dark black hair when they were younger, or dark brown hair, they go a lovely steely white gray.
Okay.
And that can actually look really well. But I do find if you do decide to go gray or go for that, you really do need to kind of maybe add a bit of lipstick or a bit of color to your face in that way, you know. And also the likes of balayage, like, so if you want to keep your hair colored, maybe the likes of balayage, where you can sort of have lighter pieces through it, and that can make the regrowth a little bit less noticeable when it's coming through as well, where you've kind of got a little bit more dimension to the hair.
Yeah. And just one thing you mentioned on the gray, does gray hair, my view is it's unforgiving if your hair is not polished. So for example, hair like mine, which would be very coarse and thick, if I were to let it go gray, I don't think I would get away with it been anything other than completely polished.
Wearing it longer and that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, is that the case?
When you do see women kind of that do wear their hair kind of maybe in the grey style, they do tend to have really polished haircuts and really nice, you know, maybe shorter haircuts and stuff like that. You don't tend to see the grey hair quite a lot longer, but some people that suits as well, you know. But also grey hair is a different texture to our own hair. And when we do colour our hair, there is a product called Iron in Colour that adds great shine and gloss to the hair, you know, and it can condition the hair as well, particularly the oil-based colors that like the likes of Noah that they have on the market now. After you color the hair with that, it can actually feel better and less coarse, you know. So coloring your hair can have a lot of benefits as well, you know, to shine and condition. Obviously lighter blonde hairs, like sort of lightening hair and blonde highlights, can be a little bit more stronger on the hair. But I would say we have products again to help counteract that, like Smart Bond, like a conditioner that we can add in when they're having the color done. So there's so many different options on the market for all different types of color, you know.
Yeah. I think last lockdown sorted me out. I had been toying with the idea of letting my hair go grey for a while, but last lockdown I think I got to about 2.5 inches, and I was like, if I don't get my color happen for a
that
while,
I had some clients that thought, oh well, I did consider growing grey.
Okay, so
once I seen it growing out like that, it was like, no, actually, I definitely am not ready to go there
if they
yet.
had any questions for Angie to let us know, and if there are any questions that people have, please type them up. I know there's been different comments.
I think we're losing you again, Louisa, just for a minute.
Just see if there are any questions, please.
Anyway, until you come back in.
A lot of people have joined.
Knock it off.
But if you do have any questions, please type them in. It would be great. Angie, you gone for me again? I'll give her a second to come back. What else were we going to cover?
Sorry, guys, we're after, I don't know whether it's the windy night tonight or what, but we're after losing service again. Can you guys still hear me? Just send me a little message and let me know, and I'll continue talking on about some products until we get Louisa back.
Okay. I'm just going to try and get Angie back again. Here we go. Viva. Okay, see if she comes back in. So is there any questions anyone has?
Oh, we're back again. Yeah, you can still hear me.
Yeah, I just disconnect you and reconnect you. So I was just putting out there, have people got any questions? To see if they do. But even, I suppose from my perspective, you know, it is a mixture of probably genetics as well, but then the choices that we make, the choices that we make, from everything we eat to, you know, exercise and movement to sleep and to stress, that has an impact on the overall quality of our hair. So there's probably no one thing that will sort us out. It's a combination of everything.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and getting, you know, going to our hairdresser, keeping our hair well cut, and, you know, a mixture of what we eat and what we do.
Yeah, I think sort of for home maintenance, if you've got a good haircut, you know, you can manage it well at home and it would sit well and lie well. And obviously another thing I would talk about in that is having the right equipment to style your hair at home.
Okay.
You know, the right type of brushes, again, to brush your hair with when it's wet so you're not stressing the hair. And then the right brushes to style your hair when you're blow drying it. And also I always have like my little clips handy, you know, that when you are styling your hair that you start at the underneath and you work your way up, that you're not just trying to dry too much of it together. So that's always a good tip that I would give. Will I show you some of the equipment that I'd recommend for styling your hair?
I would love that, and I would love to know what kind of brushes. So I use roller brushes myself, but I'd say they may not be the right, you know, texture or bristles or whatever it might be.
Yeah, or it's also the right size for your hair type and what you're trying to achieve, you know. So we'll start first with when the hair is wet. So when the hair is wet, I like to use like a really nice paddle brush, or there is brushes that you can get now. They have them everywhere called wet brushes. That they slide through the hair and they just kind of really sort of soften through the tangles, so you're not pulling at the hair or you're damaging the cuticle or anything when the hair is wet. Another tip that I would say is after I've shampooed my hair and conditioned it, I always put a primer on it. So primer is something like this here. So this is one of my favorite ones. So it's a blow dry hair, a heat protection, but it's also, you can use it even if you're not blow drying your hair. It helps smooth down the cuticle and keep the hair protected. So it might be like you know, the way they tell us every day to wear a sun protection. This would be like a hair protection, but it also primes the hair as well. So if you pop a little bit of that in before you blow dry it, or before you, or after you've shampooed and conditioned it, even if you're not blow drying, to pop some of this in before you brush it, and it helps when you're brushing out the hair. Then, so depending on the hair type you have, this is a great little brush. It's called a Denman Brush. Yeah. So this is really good for just drying the roots and sort of, you know, brushing it into parting. I wouldn't just, or, you know, you'd blast dry the hair off and just use this to directionally put the shape into the hair. And then I would recommend like something like this is a GHD brush here. So GHD, I find that we use them in the salon. We also have Moroccan oil brushes like this. So I find them particularly good on hair. And just to make sure that the bristles are all new enough, you know, that they're not sort of melted or bent in or anything like that would be important as well.
Where can we buy brushes like that?
So we sell them in the salon.
Okay.
We sell the GHD brushes, which these are, and we also sell the Moroccan oil brushes as well. Okay. I'm sure you can buy them online too, you know, if you go on to GHD, but these would be our most popular ones that we would recommend to clients and that all our staff would use. And then that's like, obviously they come in all different sizes. This is the two sizes I would use, but they come in all different sizes. Yeah. So,
because I'm sure it is important when we're drying our hair, the heat of the hair dryer is right down. So whatever the bristles are, if they're conducting too much heat, perhaps, I don't know, maybe that impacts on
or if they're uneven, they can sort of, they won't dry the hair. You'll kind of get buckled hair pieces. Okay. They won't dry it nice and smoothly. Okay. You know? Yeah. So, and another thing is that the nozzle of the hairdryer will follow your hair as you're going down. So I think I wrapped my hair together here.
I saw a question there. Sorry, Angie. Are clear glasses good for the hair? Somebody has asked that question.
Yes, they are. They're great. Like as I say, a lot of colors they're enriched in vitamins and they can put lovely shine on the hair. And clear glasses again. So healthy hair is all about shiny hair. Yeah. So if your hair is really healthy, and we would encourage clients in between visits to come in and get a gloss on their hair just to put the shine back in it. So yeah, glosses are really good for your hair.
Okay.
And they can
shine. Yeah.
And they're great in between. They're great in between salon visits. You know, particularly for like balayage clients, or even if you've got dark hair and you just want to put, you know, if it's just gone a bit dehydrated, the gloss will put a shine back into it again.
So do we do that at home or do we do that in the salon, Angie?
Well, I think usually with the glosses, you know, you're better to do it in the salon. I'm not really aware of too many ones that are on the market shelf, you know. So I would say you're better to pop into the salon.
Great.
Get your gloss done in between visits, you know.
Perfect.
Yeah. If you want to do something at home, we'll do the treatments, you know. So I've actually got some of my favorite treatments here as well. I've got a whole range of things if anybody wanted to know about any products or any treatments. So this is a new one that was launched this year. Okay. So this is the Chronologist by Kerastase, and it's for all hair types. So that's why I chose this one. It's like the caviar of hair masks. So again, when we talk about when we're in lockdown and we have time to care for our hair, like this treatment really, if you can put it in and leave it in for about half an hour, so the vitamins and all the minerals in the treatment can soak into the hair.
Yeah.
So I think, and that will add shine and gloss back to your hair as well. Okay. You know, so treatments are very good for doing that, you know.
I have a question here, Angie.
Yeah.
Looking for advice for styling products for fine hair with no body.
Yes, have the very one for you. Okay. This is one of our top sellers and one of our most favorites with all our stylists.
She's leaving us
it's called Plea by Techniart. So it's really good to spray in, and it plumps up the hair and it's activated by heat. So when you go to dry it, it will just really hold that shape. So sometimes, you know, when we're styling our hair at home.
Okay. Sorry about this, ladies.
Now,
hi, Angie.
So we were talking about our Plea.
Yeah.
And so this would be sort of one of my sort of hero products when it comes to adding volume to fine hair. What you can do with this as well, it's called Techni-Plea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Plea Spray by Techniart. So also what you can do with it is with fine hair like that, sometimes if you pop a few rollers in, it's really good. So if you have a few rollers, you put it in, you spray on the Plea and you add a little bit of heat to it.
Okay.
And that will give the hair an extra hold as well. You know, if you're going out and, you know, you're going to put your makeup on, pop in a few rollers, if, you know, depending on the length of your hair, bigger ones, shorter ones, spray the Plea into it, a little bit of heat just for 2 minutes, and then leave them in and pop them out when you're leaving.
So presumably you have perhaps dried your hair earlier on in the day, it's dry, and now you want to give it a bit of zhuzh before you go out the door.
Bit of zhuzh, yeah. And actually this product you can use on your hair like wet or dry. You can put it in wet to add volume, or you can put it in dry, but it does need a bit of heat just to activate it then.
Okay.
So you just run over it with your brush or pop your roller in or whatever you're doing. So that's really, really good for fine, flat hair.
Okay, fabulous. Anything else there in your bag of tricks?
Oh, let me see now. What else have I got? Yes, I do. This is another lovely one. So if you use like a GHD in your hair or tongs on your hair, this one is again from Techniart.
Okay.
And it's called Heat Constructor. So if you've got longer, heavier, thicker hair, quite often when you style your hair, it won't hold the shape. So if you spray this in before you run the straighteners over it or before you run the tongs over it, it's got a curl memory in it, or a heat memory thing, so it will hold the shape for you, particularly if you're curling your hair. It's really good.
Okay.
It'll hold the shape. So with longer, heavier hair that doesn't tend to hold tongs or hold anything, use this and it'll hold it. Okay. My sister swears by it. So she's been doing her hair for years and it would always fall, and the minute she got her hands on this, it's like changed her life. So that's
I definitely need some of that. Actually, Angie, there's a question in where can we buy these products? People are asking, is it in Viva? Is there, you know, where?
Yeah, you can buy them in Viva, or if you want to DM me any of the products that you're looking for or any questions you have, just send me a message and I'll be happy to tell you where to get them, whether it's in Viva or we can post them out to you or get them delivered or whatever it is.
So that's DMing Angie Drumgoole. Is the best way to get to. I'll put all this detail up as well tomorrow as part of a commentary on the post. I can link in with you.
Absolutely. There's one other product that I'm going to have to show you, and this is called the Elixir. Okay. So it's so there's the Elixir oil, or we have Moroccan oil. I just don't have that here to hand at the minute. So these are great for again, mainly kind of medium to thicker hair types to pop in before you blow dry your hair. They speed up the blow drying process, but they also smooth down the cuticle and take a lot of the frizz away. So they're really good products to put in your hair. Okay. And they protect the hair as well, and they add shine. So it's all about keeping that sort of protection and shine in the hair.
Okay, so it's all about product really, isn't it? To really
it's all about product. And then the other thing I suppose I really do need to talk about, because this would be a big problem that a lot of clients ask us about all the time, and that's blondes. You know, where their blondes can, you know, lose their tone, they can maybe go a little bit dull or possibly a little bit brassy, and they want to clean it up, you know. So there's a lot of purple shampoos on the market which are really good for diffuse and yellow tones in all kinds of brands, so that would be a big tip as well. Although a lot of people are very aware of that now. Again, I've got a little one here from Kerastase. So this is a shampoo and a conditioner from Kerastase for blonde hair. And this shampoo is illuminating one, so it's an everyday shampoo for blonde hair, but they also have a purple one as well, which will diffuse yellow tones. So that's a big thing, because it's very hard to keep blondes clean and shiny all the time. So the Blonde Absolute range is really, really good for that, So they have a shampoo and a conditioner and a mask. So they've got a lot of good products like that. And also the Y range. I'm sure it's a very popular range as well for hair that would, particularly blondes, because blondes always discolor. So for hair, if you've got, say, minerals or coppers in the water and it's changing your blonde hair all the time, these are very good for cleansing the hair and taking them minerals out of the hair.
Very good. And Wow, you said Wow. I know Wow do that powder as well.
They do, they do that really good root cover powder. So they're a really good brand as well for covering grey or taking minerals out of the hair, unwanted minerals. And they can cause that sort of greeny look on blonde hair as well.
And of course, the other thing as well, and I was reminded, natural treatments again for, I suppose, increasing hydration of the scalp, which will benefit the hair. Things like coconut oil, which is a natural product. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial. It's got an awful lot of properties which we can benefit from ingesting it by food, but also we can rub it into our skin and our hair, and it's fantastic. So that could be a treatment, that we could put in, and olive oil. Now there is also another treatment which is avocado and honey mixed together as a mask. I personally haven't tried it, but I've heard that it does work. So I'm just putting it out there. And apple cider vinegar apparently as well. Very, very good for rinsing through your hair to add shine to it. So
because it cleans everything out of the hair, So I suppose there's a lot of the remedies out there with natural products that you can do that will benefit the hair as well. I haven't tried any of them myself. I tend to stick to the salon ones.
It is, and Angie, what we can do is, what I've mentioned again, trying to just, I suppose, reduce the amount of chemicals in our body, and we try our best. I mean, I use them myself. God, I love all the things, but it's just when we can try and get a balance where we can, and if there is a product, and I know you sell them in the salon, paraben and sulfur-free shampoos, and
that's right.
It's those little swaps that we can make, and the odd treatment of coconut oil or olive oil or whatever it might be, in substitute for a product that we buy. That all helps. And the same when we talk about food, if we can. We can pick organic foods, and there are certain foods that we know would have a higher element of pesticides in them, and they're listed as the dirty dozen, things like grapes, certain berries. So if you have a choice and you can make that choice, all I'm saying is that little things like that, little swaps can help, and it's the same with our hair care. But all of that has been fantastic. We're coming up to probably 5 minutes before the hour, so I think I'll check and see if there's any more questions, but I don't believe that there is. But I think we have covered an awful lot, Angie, unless there's anything that you would like to say.
No, I suppose at the end of the day, I think, having healthy hair is the number one tip, and, keeping that shine and having, looking after it well with the right products and having the right haircut to suit your face shape and your lifestyle. And, again, our lifestyles are very busy now. We don't, we're quite happy sometimes to be able to tie your hair in a nice pony or put a nice scarf on, or, do that as well. And that's okay. It's okay to do that as well. But I would say just keeping your hair in good condition, keeping it cut regularly, that there's a nice shape on it, and then it will look well even on the days that you're not going to put a lot of effort into styling it. So you've got good healthy hair with a nice haircut on it, and that it suits your face shape and it suits your lifestyle, then you're doing well.
You're doing well. That all sounds fantastic. And the sea swimming, I will have to join you someday when I get brave enough. I'm managing the cold showers. But
It's mind over matter. Oh, if you can manage a cold shower, you'd manage the sea swim any day, Louisa.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I will.
It's definitely mind over matter. I think you're not, you know, and sea swimming in the winter is very different to the summer, because in the summer our body temperature is really warm, and then we're still getting into the cold sea. Whereas in the winter, sometimes it's warmer once you get in than when you come out, like, you know. But definitely the benefits, you always feel better afterwards. You never regret a sea swim. I always say that to my friends, you know. Sometimes you don't go, oh, will we, won't we? And then you do it and you're so glad you've done it, because you do get all those good endorphins, you know. So it's always good.
Oh, it's so good. You're fantastic. Angie, thank you so much for joining me tonight and sharing all that fantastic information. It's been so useful, and I hope people got some tips from it.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome, Louisa. Thank you. And as I say, if anybody has any questions, feel free to DM me, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
You're so kind. Thank you so much,
great.
Angie.
Okay, thanks, Louisa. Great to talk to you. Hope to see you soon.
Okay,
bye. And thanks for joining, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.